Beats Planet.
What's happening? What's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Warm call for everybody in the beloved chat right now. Right now. Will Steele, you said you was gonna watch the college championship game yesterday. Yeah. First thing we said was like, hey man, you know, TCU got a couple. They got a couple draft picks over there, but you know, Georgia got like 10 first rounders, you know what I mean? And it looked that way. You know what I mean?
It looked like Georgia had 25 first rounders.
I went to bed incredibly early, dog, but I woke up this morning, right? And there was this Kirby Smart pep talk going around. You know what I'm saying? Kirby Smart, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs there. And you know, his pregame prep talk speech was going around, you know what I'm saying? I was just in dojo minding my business, you know what I'm saying? I was just, punching on stuff. I was just da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm listening to the shit, and that shit make you want to go out and do some fucking push-ups, don't it? That shit make you want to go run a mile, don't it?
Punching harder.
Yeah, that shit make you want to run through a wall, don't it? And I'm like,
start upticking. You was just baby punching that first time, break a sweat. And Kirby start talking.
Elbow.
Nigga, please.
And I'm like, dog. I'm like, damn, dog. Like that's what it takes. But then I just kept, doing my thing on the social medias, right? And it was like, man, Cowboys need a coach like that to come in and cuss and be loud and holler. And I just thought about Chris Rashard. God damn.
Y'all gonna leave Chris alone, man. I can't let this one down. I was on a Chris Rashard bandwagon and I never really got off. It just the train stopped and I was like, wait. What happened to Chris? Where you go?
I don't know what the fuck he doing in life now. I don't know who he coaching. Somebody said, yeah, he was coaching running backs in college or something. I was like, damn, Chris, you know what I mean? This deniable head coaching candidate You know what I mean? That's a genius for putting Byron Jones back in his original position. Now he's doing nothing. Somebody please Google Chris Richard and let us know what the hell going on with him nowadays. I appreciate y'all being here today, man. You know, bro, I just want to say this though, bro, man. If y'all ever feeling down, bro, if you ever feeling down on life, you ever feel like you're going through something, man, you ever feel like it's just not going your way, bro, like don't do nothing drastic. Just sit down, take a couple deep breaths, and think about how positive life can be if you fix whatever little problems that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even got to be no big important PSA or nothing like that. This ain't got to be no little nonsense or whatever. But you know, you just see things wherever you see him at, and it just may be on your heart to just say something, you know what I'm saying, to somebody. You know, Voch is a character that have been through many hard times in life, plenty of them. Will Steele is a character that have been through plenty hard times in life. But if you keep working and you stay diligent and you remain positive to get over those adversities, you know what I'm saying, one day you'll be able to talk to a guy like Will Steele and Voch and be like, hey, man, remember them hard times that we used to have, and laugh about those hard times. You know what I mean? So whoever need to hear that, you hang in there and do not let whatever it is that's bothering you bring you down. I'm Lombardi Prime.
Hey, Bachi.
I still haven't changed the damn. I still haven't changed the you know what I mean that. And I'm being point guarded by the best in the business, Will Steele.
Haters. Yo.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Well, got some sound clips today. Got a couple sound clips today, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to go immediately into Tampa Bay, but I found myself almost going into Tampa Bay, you know what I'm saying? But we run these shows where we got to talk all day about something, you know what I'm saying? Where we got to talk all week about something, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of caught myself being, you know, patient here. So whenever you need, you know, extra content to kind of fill out your show, you go listen to the coaches, right?
Yep.
So I pulled sound clips from Mike McCarthy, sound clips from Dan Quinn, and they mostly talked about offensive line and cornerback too, because fuck else we gonna talk about? What else are we gonna talk about but cornerback too and offensive line? I think, you know, both those topics are pretty hot in Cowboy Nation right now. Tom Brady is another topic. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Well, still, something that I did find hilarious outside of listening to brother Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. There was this one thing that was just super hilarious. I just kind of tapped into the other little clips. Did you get a chance to take a look at the locker room media, you know, conference availability for Turpin, Cavante Turpin? Did you listen to that?
I did not.
Oh, well, still we ain't doing nothing else, man. Hold on, let's just do the whole thing, right? I ain't even gonna pause and, you know what I'm saying, wait, no, I just recorded the whole thing, the whole video, about a minute. I just want to show the whole press conference, the whole locker room availability.
The conference has been unlocked.
Phones unlocked, by the way. This is gonna be a really fast show, so get in while you can. Here's the media talking to Cavante Turpin.
Got away from it. That's all. Thank you. I would appreciate it.
Oh, hold on, wait that way.
Do you think that they should have given you an opportunity, since you called it fair catch, to catch the bobble?
Because our gunners, they were playing off, you know, trying to go for a fake, and you know, when they play off, it just automatic fair catch for me, because, you know, they playing for the fake, and it just got away from it. That's all. And you know, I just got to be better. That's all.
Sorry, I know you said it. Can you one more time on the fumble? Can you just kind of go through what happened with that?
Turpin, man, I understand you sad and you upset and you feel like your mishaps were a huge contribution to this team losing, but can you just say that one more time, close to the microphone, please?
No, it just, like I said, it just got away from me. You know, it hit me
too
kind of
low.
high. It's just it, and that's all. It just, the wind wasn't affected, left foot opponent was affected. It just was on me. So I just got to be better. That's all.
Anything, the season you had obviously is you know, Pro Bowl and everything like that. You were able to kind of block that through and say, all right, you know, let's get to the playoffs on a positive note.
Oh yeah. Like with me, I'm not a big like individual accomplishment guy. You know, I just go out here and just trying to make a play for the team. Yeah, the Pro Bowl is good. Yeah, but at the same time, I gotta be better. I gotta be better for this team. You know, our offense can make a play this. So that's really what it was. Our offense couldn't be the ball, and I was just out there trying to make a play for the team, and just got carried away. Just got away from it. That's all. I really appreciate it.
That was the whole fucking press conference, Will Steele. That's all they had to say.
Ain't much to say to him, man.
That's all they had to say. Will Steele. What I thought was incredibly bad, right, was, hey, Turpin, man, the saddest you've ever been in your life. You know what I'm saying? I understand that you were heralded as this big thing in the preseason. All year we're waiting on you to do something positive. Then you make the Pro Bowl. What do you think about your fuck up last Sunday? Yeah, man, you know, I just, that's on me. And I just be better next time. Say it loud. And okay, well, that's on me. That's on me, and we'll do it again.
All right, cool. Bro, we need this content. You got to speak up.
Yeah, you gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? You got to come with a little something. Then after that question, they paused for 2 seconds.
20 seconds. I was like, what's going on? You sleep?
So you think the Pro Bowl, the Pro Bowl choice committee fucked up by giving you the nod? Because Pro Bowl punt returns and kick returns don't drop punts and kicks. So what you think? Man, it won't happen again. Like, no, why do you have to do a little Terp like that, dog? What do you have to do? I walked into the thing.
Terp.
Polly Terp Wilson. I walked into the thing feeling bad. Yo, Terp, you gonna be all right, man. But man, by the time it was over, I'm like, yeah, you only got one job, huh? You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, I don't think this is gonna be a lingering issue, but we are at the point of the season to where that shit can't happen no more. If you gonna, nobody's perfect. You're not gonna play perfect games, but this is the time of year where you got to be as perfect as possible. Will Steele, you could probably, and I don't even want you to do that, but you could probably, make a little mistake here in a Texas game or the Washington Football Wizards. But when you go roll up to Tampa Bay, you're not gonna be allowed to make those type of blunders there. You know what I mean?
Or just do your job, right? Like if he just does his job right there, they don't get the ball at the 10-yard line. That's all that is. Like perfection would be, hey, we need you to get a return every game. Like, we're not asking for that from him, right? We just want you to catch the ball and not bobble it and give it away 2 times in the last month.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're a guy like Dak, right? Like, okay, cool, I throw an interception, but I'll throw touchdowns after that. You know what I mean? We even talk about that with Kelvin Joseph versus Nashawn Wright. Nashawn Wright to give up a big play. We about to talk about cornerback 2 in a minute. Segway Jones. Nashawn Wright to give up a big play, but at least he'll go and make a play back. If you Kevontae Turpin and you're making these type of blunders or whatever, you at least need to be Devin Hester for the next 3 punts. So if you ain't, there will be a problem here, sir. So here we go, man. Mike McCarthy. They asked Mike McCarthy, was he concerned about cornerback 2 and the cornerback 2 position and things like that? Mike McCarthy had this to say, man. He said this.
Well, I wouldn't say concerning. I think it's just, I think this is what you go through when you have injuries. So, I think the injury to, Anthony Brown is, Anthony's been, a super consistent player for us since I've been here. So, I think last year and what he's done this year, I mean, he played at an extremely consistent level. So I think it's just a matter of, also, Deron Bland's part of that equation too. So this game always comes down to matchups. I think it'll be even highlighted more in the playoffs, and I think that'll be part of our thinking going into Tampa.
This game is about matchups. That'll be highlighted more, and I think that's something we need to focus on going into Tampa. If y'all don't think Tom Brady's going to line Chris Godwin up on whoever the hell cornerback 2 is and just throw the shit at him all day, you would be sadly mistaken. Now, Will Steele, there's been this gauntlet of cornerback 2. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I think it's relevant to have the conversation now. We talked about this gauntlet of cornerback 2, and we'll just keep throwing guys in that heat, man. We keep throwing them in that fire. And motherfuckers keep failing when we throw them in there. So you said something interesting yesterday, Will Steele. You was like, man, it ain't like we're super duper talented at cornerback 2 anyway. If there's anybody that we're let down about from the cornerback 2 spot, it'll be Kelvin Joseph, because he's the one with the second round corner pedigree and the talent. Will Steele, if everybody's just gonna be getting their ass whooped at cornerback 2, do you at least go back to Kelvin Joseph / Nashawn Wright because they got a future on this team?
Not Kelvin, but Nashawn, because I've seen Nashawn do some positive things, right? Kelvin Joseph gave up 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I'm not ready to be like, all right, let's see if you can make up for that against Tom. Mm-hmm. I'll go back to Nashawn Wright and Deron Bland.
That's fair. Not against Tom. We could probably try this shit against Brock Purdy then, but not against Tom. That's fair, Will. I haven't thought of that one. On that same topic, this is Dan Quinn talking about cornerback 2.
I felt like I said it was really important to go through different people, different combinations to how to go. There's nothing like being in the fire a little bit and just know what you have. And sometimes you may game plan certainly, but sometimes you wouldn't, to say, I want to see what this would look like in some of the hardest situations. So sometimes you have to create that to give the moment to go. So I feel very comfortable with where we're at. I'm certainly not going to disclose that today, if that was going to be your follow-up question, but I do feel like, okay, I've got to handle how we want to go and play. And so that was what my goal was, 3 to 4 weeks ago. And quite honestly, some were going to be in some backup roles. Who could be the 30, who could be the 4, how could we feature that? So that's kind of, Dave, what I was looking for at different spots.
I don't want to talk about Dan Quinn in this way, Will, still, but I think he has no clue what's best for the team or what he wants to do about this. You know what I mean?
Really?
I think Dan has I think he's losing rest at night, not in a super stressed out about it kind of way, but I think, if I'm,
okay.
what I'm saying? Like if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm Al Harris, I'm George Edwards, whoever. Yo, Dan, what we're going to do about cornerback 2? I literally think Dan Quinn going to be like, man, I don't know, dog. We just had to see Sunday or Monday. You know what I mean? Like I don't see, it's one thing if we had the tools to figure this thing out. Right. And if we had the tools to figure it out, we would have seen it at least tried. Right. Because we saw a bunch of different combinations to do. Like Tyler Coyle got some, like he was on the field and I'm watching the game on the watch along. Y'all go back and watch. I'm like, fuck Tyler Coyle get on the field. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like it's just some general. Like I'm like, who got hurt? What got hurt? Like what happened? Like J-Ron came out, but J-Ron came back in. But I just think generally we just throwing shit at the wall at this point. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Dan Quinn may have an answer, and he might be saving all his best shit for the playoffs. But I legitimately look at Dan Quinn and I look at the resources that we have, and I look at the attempts to try to fix the cornerback 2 spot. And in my mind, it's Xavier Rhodes, some scheme thing. Or we just gonna have to just try to win games on defense and offense, getting whooped at cornerback 2.
Or just give them help. You know what I mean? Like help cornerback 2 just from time to time. Like I had a conversation earlier this morning. Great caller called in and we were talking about what to do, at least in this game with Tom Brady. And I was saying you have to, I think, throw different things at Tom Brady. You can't just completely do like a cover 2 all game or something like that, even if he struggles against it. I just think Tom will pick apart this particular unit. But whenever you decide to man up, don't put the help on Diggs' side. Put the help on cornerback 2's side. And so when you were explaining that, though, at first I was like, what do you mean you don't know what he's doing? I think what you're saying is we whatever sticks. We're throwing everything at the wall, whatever sticks.
We just gonna ask the Lord for guidance and light, and we gonna pray about it, huh?
But I think Nahshon Wright sticks. I mean, I ain't saying he's the best, but I'm just saying
well, that's where I disagree. I think if this Xavier Rhodes thing doesn't work, I think Nahshon Wright is your best option. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're in this situation, we got to play Deron Bland at nickel because I guess they don't trust Alexander at nickel, and you can't play big nickel all game. I don't think we've seen let's see what Kendall Sheffield looks like at nickel. We haven't tried that because he's a guy that's played both. Mike McCarthy even mentioned that a guy like Coyle can move around and play nickel and play safety sometimes, right? If go ahead.
What would you do? Would you go Nahshon first, and if that don't work out, Rhodes, or you would throw Rhodes into the fire in the playoffs, first time since week 13 playing, and first time with the Cowboys, and if that don't work out, go back to Nahshon? Because I feel like there has to be an emergency plan or whatever, right? Insurance.
If it's up to me, I think, it'll be harder to get big plays on you from the nickel than it would be from the outside, right? Because at least if you playing from the nickel, there's a lot of guys inside that can help you, right? There's a lot of dudes that can cause.
So you're saying put Bland out there?
I want to. If it's up to me,
I'm with you, but I'm saying that's not what they're doing.
That's not what they're going.
That's not what they're doing. So they're going to go with Mullins, Wright, or you're saying they should go with Rhodes. Is that
in my mind? I would love to see what Rhodes can do to just put him through the gauntlet. Okay. But when I see Chris Godwin do the same shit that happens to all the rest of them, all right, cool, come back over here, Rhodes. I'm gonna leave Deron Bland at outside corner. I'm gonna put him there. I'm gonna leave him there. And now we got to figure out. So now the rotation would be big nickel sometimes. It could be Alexander sometimes. Sheffield ain't even here, so it'll just have to be them dudes. And we just gonna have to pray about it and put some little bracket help to help whoever plays the nickel out. But the only 2 dudes that I trust is Deron Bland and Trey Diggs. So those 2 dudes gonna have to be my outside corners. Go ahead to be.
I'd have 6 corners up on game day and then hope that something sticks opposite of those guys.
100%. Miss Scouting Pro has dropped 50 in my super chat, sir. Just one time.
Miss Scouting Pro.
I ain't seen Miss Scouting Pro. I ain't seen Miss Scouting Pro in a minute, and I almost have abandonment issues because I haven't. She said, hey, she said, hold on. This is exactly what she said in this voice. She said, hey, I've been so out of the loop, but so happy and proud of you and Sky. Oh my God. I remember telling Sky when he first started his channel, he was going to do great things. This really makes me smile. Well, I be damn. Let's just work hard one time for me and Skywalker. So wait, yo, Sky, come on, sir.
Thank you, Miss Scouting Pro. I remember when she was one of the first kind of YouTube commenters I saw on Law's channel that, oh, this is really a thing. Like, like this is a thing. So salute to you, Miss Scouting Pro. Thank you for the support.
Shouts out to Miss Scouting Pro. We love you to pieces. Thank you so much for coming back home. You can come back whenever you leave for 3 months and come back. This is still home whenever you get back here. So we appreciate you for tuning in and supporting us. Thank you. Big virtual hugs to you. Here's Mike McCarthy talking about Trayvon Mullen and Tyler Coyle and, possibly what we learned.
It's really part of the question earlier. I think it's definitely given us the information to see how they fit into the defensive packages, how we feel like we'll move forward there, and obviously their performance on special teams too will play into that.
That means to me, Trayvon Mullen didn't do anything to move the needle, so we're gonna see.
Hell no.
On kicking teams, we gonna see what Trayvon Mullen look like on kicking team, and we right back trying to figure out what the hell going on with cornerback too. That what that mean to me.
Well, Bobby dropped a stat earlier today that, listen, man, and that's why, like, one player in position is always gonna get, pointed out and featured and highlighted. But man, there are a handful of things that are bigger issues in my opinion on this team. The Cowboys have given up 21 pass plays of 20 yards or more over the final 5 weeks of the season. That is the most in the NFL. And it's so funny because around that time frame, or maybe a little bit before that, you were like, yeah, I know the run game is yada, yada, this and that, but it's the big passing plays. And here we are. The most big passing plays in the NFL over the last 5 weeks, your Dallas Cowboys.
Do you think that if we somehow improve versus the run game, that'll put teams in worse positions to not want to try to throw deep passes versus cornerback too? Right. That's what I'm setting up next. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yep. I think they have improved in the run game. And I think that'll continue when they get Hankins back. I think in putting Golston out there more. But that's not going to be in my opinion, your down. And that sounds crazy because maybe it will be. But the downfall of your team, the last 2 outings in the playoffs were run defense. But I don't think that's going to be the case this year.
Segway Jones, this is Dan Quinn talking about Chauncey Golston. Appreciate you, Will Steele, for the layup.
Conversation took place. We said we were going to feature some guys in some new roles. And I thought Chauncey, you're right, has been one that I've seen the trajectory going up and, finding out more information. I thought yesterday was probably his strongest performance of the season.
He and Osa made a couple plays together, including the tackle for loss in the fourth quarter. Those two guys came in together. How have you seen them kind of come up now of late at this stretch of the year? And what does that mean to have that with Hankins coming back?
Yeah. And so to see those two really take, the step forward, that's what I'd wanted to see. And so they both came in with just really rock solid work ethic, fundamentals to go. And both of them are really mature guys who early on learned it. And so to see Chauncey especially really make the jump over the last few weeks with more play time, more opportunities to go, I just feel like his arrow is going up.
So I'm going to take a quick pause on these sound clips to just kind of talk about what I've seen on film this week, right? You watched the offense and the defense, Will Steele?
More offense, defense. I particularly watched Chauncey.
Will Steele tapped in with us on
and Osa, but go ahead.
Yeah, we did about to get out. Me and Will Steele tapped in with us on the Patreon. He was in class last night, so shouts out to Will Steele there. He came out and chilled with us. Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi is where we watched the whole film.
Yes, sir.
And the one thing I kept saying about watching offensive line on the Patreon there is, man, John Ridgeway beating the shit out of us, boy. Shit, damn, John Ridgeway. Shit. And in my mind, we've gone
shit from that first matchup.
Yeah. That motherfucker came back different, didn't he?
Yeah.
John Ridgeway was a guy that I was like, hey, man, we'd love to have him on the team, but, he ain't really beating nobody over here. So, yeah, we got a couple dudes better than Ridgeway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it is what it is. since then, Carlos Watkins has been elevated from practice squad and whatnot. Shouts out to him. Osa and Chauncey has elevated their play, but on that same token, you look at names like Quentin Bohanna and Neville Gallimore, they've been trending more downwards. And just watching what John Ridgeway was able to do yesterday, I was like, man, goddamn, boy, should he have been the one that we moved on from? Like was we supposed to cut this month and get somebody? You know what I mean? Like that's where my mind was. I do feel like for this defense, run game in particular, and once the run defense gets better, everything will kind of, you know what I mean? But for this defense in particular, I think Chauncey stepping up is going to be good for you. I think Van Der Esch coming back is going to be fantastic for you. I think Jonathan Hankins coming back is going to be fantastic for you. But Will Steele, when we can get Osa Odighizuwa to be the dude that we thought he was going to be back in July, that can be the big change here. You know what I mean? And we're possibly going to talk about this a little bit tomorrow, but it's hard to sack Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially
rushing from the edges, it's hard to get Tom Brady. Also, Odighizuwa is going to have to step up and bust ass in the middle. Yesterday, we saw Osa Odighizuwa bust some ass in the middle, right? But I want him to keep getting better at that, and I want him to be consistent with busting ass up the middle. You know what I mean? Osa Odighizuwa just slowly but surely been turned into the guy that we thought it was going to be. And of course, it takes time for anybody to do anything. Osa's a year 2 player. He had the peanut butter. He filled his body out. But now I want Osa to learn how to win, right? I want Osa to know, okay, well, is this when I should be east and west shaking people? Or is this going to be a time where I should just run through a motherfucker face, shots out the beast mode and all that? You know what I mean? And I just see Osa's game slowly but surely coming together. And this is a fantastic time for him and Chauncey to get their shit together, because that draft class in particular, those 2 third-round picks in particular, will still Chauncey 3rd round, yeah, sure. Those 2 third-round picks in particular, we're gonna need them dudes down the stretch. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was saying, yeah, he's 3rd round pick.
Cool. But yeah, seeing that from Osa, seeing that from Chauncey, especially when we need help in that position the most, I just think adding Hankins back to that group. What do we do with like guys like Neville moving forward? Like, do you see Neville being a guy that's not active, next week or something like that moving forward?
No, because I think they're not. This is gonna be crazy because they might have Big Bo inactive for the 2nd playoff game in a row. But yeah, I don't. If we're talking about this game in particular, they're not a running team, and that sounds crazy because they ran on you in week 1, and maybe they'll come out here and they'll try it. But I think Hankins, and I just think this team has been better against the run in general. And they're not a whole lot of. They're not going to fancy it up, right? They're not going to do a bunch of window dressing. So I think they'll activate Neville, and Bo will be out. That's all I can think of.
I think I do agree that Tampa Bay is not a. And boy, the conversation around Tampa Bay gonna be so weird because they're not good. but we gotta. Like, right, matchup wise,
if they were a run team, then maybe bring Bo in there, Hankins, bring all your run guys, right? But they're 32nd in the league in run.
Leonard Fournette just happened to go crazy on us. That's the last
in
time
week 1.
That's the last time the shit happened. They used up all they magic points on us in their run game stuff this week. Last year. So in my mind, week 1. So in my mind, maybe they're going to try to protect Brady somehow to run the football, but I think they're going to pull Brady out there and let it rip and live and die by him. That makes him a bad team, by the way, living and dying by Brady, but just the weird shit that we can't measure in football. Brady's going to be like, hey, if the game is close in the last 3 minutes, then your ass is grass, right? So in my mind, if they're gonna try to run the football against us because that's what our deficiencies look like on tape or whatever, it's fantastic to have Osa and Chauncey coming on the way that they are now. Then you add Hankins to that, then Van Der Esch comes back. I think that'll be all beneficial for us. What did you see from Chauncey and Osa on film yesterday, Wilson?
Osa looked like, and that's the thing when you were talking about Osa. We low-key kept on throwing in there here and there. Yeah, he's not putting up those big numbers because they didn't ask him to do what we thought he was, going to be asked to do, which is just be a dominant 3-tech. But you still see him being that knife. It's kind of funny they use that word for TP and Zeke. He's kind of that sword of the defensive line. He is extremely quick, and you can see that leverage that he plays with that he's shown ever since college, right? But Chauncey, I literally had to, when I was writing it down, I scratched it out because I didn't want nobody to think I was crazy. Sure. But it was times when he was looking like, and listen, it's one game, but just the stature and the play, he was looking like David Irving in that game.
Because he's huge, right?
Yeah.
And look, we were saying that for training camp, right? Like we just noticed Chauncey had all the damn peanut butter and he was bigger than everybody. I was like, man, I can't wait to see what Chauncey do this year. But he hadn't done that all year. But
he hadn't got that shot either, right? So you go look at like when Chauncey got tick. He only played in 20 snaps one other time, and that was against the Eagles, right? And the Eagles run that weird offense. So I don't know how much you can judge off of that. But the Titans game and the Washington game were the last two games that Chauncey Golston played more snaps, and I thought he looked good in those games and really good against Washington, man. He was stout. I mean, for a long dude who's not a real 330-pound tackle, he was hard to move, and he was standing up, dude. 11 tackles, 6 stops, 5 solo. Like Chauncey showed up in that game, and he earned more reps. And Dan Quinn shouted him out, so I think he's going to play a lot this week.
For sure. Somebody in the chat asked me, what have I been seeing from Clark, linebacker, Damone Clark. If you watch my film sessions on Clark when he was coming out of LSU, or you'll remember the Patreon, we were watching that stuff, athletic player, solid size player, long, player like Dan likes his guys to be. But I think he had problems with mental processing, right? So Damone Clark had a couple of good games, right? And what I kind of thought about was, you remember when Sean Lee was when he was in the game and he was a linebacker and all the other linebackers looked good because of him? You know what I'm saying? Because Sean Lee would be the guy, be like, they run a counter right there. They run it this right there. You know what I'm saying? And all the other guys just be like, well, Sean says. And then Sean
be like, well, I'm going to go make the tackle myself. But that's where they run it.
I'm going to still get that first. But I'm just letting y'all know, counter right there. And it should have happened, right? And all the other guys look great because of that. Like Anthony Hitchens got a big ass check because of that. I think Damone Clark is missing Van Der Esch. Now, Van Der Esch ain't Sean Lee. Mentally, he's not. Which is why I just kind of want.
Point you're making.
You know what I mean? I just wish we could just bring Sean Lee back as just an invisible, just 11th player with no responsibility. Just have him in the middle, just pointing shit out. But I think Damone Clark benefited from Leighton Van Der Esch. If you listen to Quinn talk, Quinn will always be like, hey man, those dudes got to talk, those dudes got to communicate, there must be some verbal interaction out there. So Jay Ron will see something and they'll do something, Van Der Esch will be like boom 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 boom. But if Van Der Esch is out there, that's like one half of the field that's not seeing everything as well. So you'll see Damone Clark guessing and trying to overcome his guessing by just being fast, and that don't work in the National Football League, especially when the other team is misdirecting the shit out of you. So I do think Van Der Esch coming back will indeed help Clark.
No, that's an excellent point because Dan Quinn often talks about the mental aspect of LVE, and you see it out there. I mean, you see Damone and everybody else doing the pointing and the talking too, but LVE's been here for 5 years. He's been in this defense now for a few years. He's played the most snaps at linebacker in that room by far, aside from Anthony Barr, who that's another hit or miss. He's more of a role player. So when you take him off the field, and now Damone Clark is responsible for all that, and he just came back in middle of the season or whatever. Yeah, sure. You're going to see some mental aspects of the game catch up to Damone, but I don't worry about him moving forward because he's a smart cat. They talk about him picking up things quick. They talk about him not trying to make the same mistake twice. He has the athletic ability. I think Damone Clark is going to be a core part of your linebacker room for moving forward. But yeah, you do see him miss that veteran presence next to him.
Do you re-sign Van Der Esch for one more year?
I would be looking in free agency if you're not going to go into the draft high with the linebacker, which is fine with me. But I look to up. I mean, Van Der Esch, he's fine if you bring him back. But you know me, I'm always looking to be better than okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, better dudes, man. Better dudes. Yeah. Miss Scouting Pro says Sean Lee is on our scouting team. I have a feeling that this is grooming for future coaching. Miss Scouting Pro is very close to the organization, so if she say something, I will definitely be listening with no grains of salt. So
I would love for him to be a linebackers coach for us.
Man, please. Just like to be what what's my man's Ryan's or whatever. Just like him and just like what he's doing in San Fran. Funny enough, I'm playing Madden 07. Wow. D'Amico Ryans is in the goddamn game, and like I'm just thinking with like 2022 brain or 2023 brain or whatever. I'm like, damn, bro, this ain't that long ago. But he was a player not too long ago. I would love to see Sean Lee.
D'Amico's a top defensive coordinator though.
Right now,
Yeah,
definitely for
yeah.
sure, 100%. I would love to see Sean Lee come and be a dude like that for us. Shit, man, Ryan's probably about to be a head coach.
He about to be a
somewhere.
head coach, 100%.
Head coach. Yeah, everybody head coach. I got one more sound clip. Then we're gonna get into the phones quickly because I gotta be gone by 4:15. Gotta do some family. Shut your ass up. Shut up. Gotta do some family things today. Let's see. We want to talk. Let's do one last defensive drop here. Dan Quinn talking about Xavier Rhodes.
So good news. Had probably the most tape on Xavier, where we could evaluate, him in different spots. Man, could he pick it up fast? I was blown away by football instincts right away. So he came in here. What was it? Saturday. Met there at the hotel again in the morning. Heading into this week. So I'll have a better sense for him as we get towards the end of the week, if there could be a role that goes on for the game, but too early to call on that. But
well, see, I don't even think I've asked you this on my show. Of course, you've done all the fantastic work on A to Z Dallas in the morning from 8:30 to about 10 or so. Y'all go over there, check him out because he need those views so we can ask for more money at the end of the year. But what was your take on the whole Xavier Rhodes signing? I read it and yawned and just went back on with my life. But what did you think about the Xavier Rhodes signing?
We're desperate. We're desperate at the position. I can't look at it like the T.Y. Hilton signing. I can't because I feel like T.Y. can make more of an immediate impact, and he was, I thought, my opinion, at his peak, one of them ones. Like Xavier Rhodes went to the Pro Bowl, so he was really good at a point in time. But I saw film from last year with T.Y. making plays in a specific role. So asking T.Y. to do, hey, I need you to play 25 snaps, maybe catch 4 balls, and then asking a cornerback like Xavier Rhodes, who, let's just be honest, he's not that guy, right?
Xavier, they are throwing the ball right at you,
right? To go cover 40 attempts against Tom Brady, it's like. Right away, it's just like, I mean, I more so looked at it as another veteran in that, a veteran in that room that doesn't have one. So I think maybe he can help the young guys in that way. But I mean, if he has to get on the field, then he's just going to have to buck up and get it done. But it doesn't move the needle for me.
Yeah, it'll be nonsensical if the Cowboys did not address the cornerback 2 position this offseason, or just cornerback position in general. We need more dudes there. But and I got one last thing, man, on offensive line. Something else we watched the offensive line yesterday on the Patreon film. Just for confirmation, you're not allowed to miss shows. I know some of you do. It's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. Someone alluded yesterday that Jason Peters had played bad yesterday, more badly yesterday or Sunday. And I just want to say that we've done our research. We sat together as a class and we watched the film. Jason Peters did not play bad. Jason Peters was one of your better players there. Connor McGovern still probably making me sick. Tyler Smith is one of the best players on your line. Zach Martin is one of the best players in the league. And Tyron is still getting acclimated to right tackle. So there are your answers for what was going on with the offensive line this week. Mike McCarthy on Tyron Smith, and I felt like this was important to let everybody hear.
I mean, I don't want to be crude here, but the best description I ever heard was from Josh Sitton, and he could be crude, is when we moved him to left guard. He said it's like wiping your ass with your right hand and then you got to switch to your left. It's a pain in the ass. So it takes time.
So this is why I think that's important.
Chill with that loud ass laugh.
A loud ass laugh. Yo son, you wasn't. That ain't real laughter from you. That was a.
He ain't never heard that before. Sit down,
yeah,
chill.
Come on. That was a funny. That wasn't a
knee slapper.
Hey man, you ever seen Eddie Murphy was talking about James Brown like Dabba do with that. Why I think that's important, right? Ex-offensive line guy, people on YouTube like to call me O-line guy. Appreciate y'all for your kind words. But I actually thought about this with Tyron Smith too, Will Steele. Tyron's really not in a place where he's winning with his physicality anymore. You know what I mean? Tyron's more so winning with technique now. And it's crazy because, you'll watch some of these Tyron Smith pass sets. It'll look like pure magic how he'll just bait somebody with the hand. They'll bite. he'll come down, and next thing you know, somebody's on the ground without him exerting very much. But that's how Tyron wins. Tyron wins with technicalities. Tyron isn't the guy that'll put a mitt on you and drive you with one hand like he throwing you out the club. Tyron's not that guy anymore. Tyron does, however, win with technique, and he's fantastic winning with technique. But two things about that, right? One, in the run game, you do need to have a little bit of power in your tool belt. You know what I mean? Now, pass setting, you can technique all day, all day, every day, no problem. Like there's actually offensive tackle archetypes, right? Guys like Connor Williams, guys like Jonah Williams, right? Like Andre Dillard, like these smaller offensive linemen that win with technique. Zach Tom, they win with technique as opposed to just brute power and strength. What made Tyron Smith the damn god of war was that he was powerful, amazingly athletic, 310 pounds and not fat, and he was one of the most technical characters in the league, technique-wise, right? Tyron ain't that dude anymore, right? But he does have technique. He don't lose his technique, right? In my mind, Will Steele, if Tyron Smith was playing left tackle, I think he'll be a little bit better because then his technique goes back up. I think his technique has taken a dip because he's done all his technical work on one side, right? Mike McCarthy made the joke talking about wiping ass, but we can all wipe ass with the right or the left. It is what it is. But the nuances of offensive line, like timing, measuring, distancing, baiting, hand placement for different techniques, hand placement for bull rushes, hand placement for wide rushes, hand placement for wide face crosses, right? Dropping post foots, foot placement. All of these things are real things, right? How much ground do I have to cover to get to this landmark? All those things are real life things that you have to consider when you call yourself a technical offensive lineman. We talk about lineman technique, right? So just imagine you've done everything on one side for 10 years. I know Tyron played right tackle at USC, but he wasn't a refined character at USC. I know he played right tackle when Doug Free existed, but he wasn't a refined character when Doug Free existed. Tyron Smith went to left tackle. He got all his information, Callahan or whatever, got all his O-line information, and he got it all on one side. He logged all that data, one side. 5 temptations, one mic. You understand what I'm saying? And then for him, just, all right, Terrence got hurt. Tyron, you think in 3 weeks, you could do everything you just did on that side, Tyron's going to be company guy and go, sure, yeah, for sure, right?
He came to them about it.
He came to them about it.
Yeah.
Well, still better than Zach Martin. Zach Martin said, fuck right tackle, right? Zach Martin said, fuck all that right tackle, right? But to have to take all that data, and go, all right, I'm not a physical specimen anymore, but I can give this a go. And it works in some places, but for the most part, I think Tyron Smith is mostly hindered because he's playing with a different dexterity in his hands, right? And Tyron Smith is so good that he can still kind of do a job. But when you play against, Sweat, you play against Chase Young, you play against some gangsters, Shaq Bear, you can probably pull that off against some regular dudes. But when some gangsters line up against you, it's going to show a little bit, right? So that's what I think is going on with Tyron Smith. And for those of you that still can't understand what I'm saying, hell, if you right-handed, you ain't going to write the prettiest essay with your left hand. You know what I'm saying? If you used to doing one thing here, and and I keep going back to fights, but if your favorite combo is 1-2 uppercut from orthodox, and now you got to switch and go, all right, all this got to change now. It's gonna be hard for you. So in my mind, Will Steele, I don't want to create two bad dudes, right? I'm talking about Jason Peters and Tyron Smith right now. I don't want to make two bad dudes. I at least want one of them dudes to be good and the other dude to just be twice as bad, right? I just can't have both of them being bad. So in my mind, I think we can benefit from Tyron Smith playing left tackle for us, as opposed to Jason Peters playing left and Tyron playing right. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, if we want to make like a super how can I say, like a super change or a super beneficial thing, that something that'll benefit us the most, it's probably gonna have to involve Connor McGovern being on the field and Tyler Smith going back to left tackle, and us just having one bad offensive line or one bad old dude at right tackle and just kind of living with that, as opposed to just having two bad old dudes on that.
That's interesting. So you think Jason Peters is bad?
I don't think Jason Peters is horrific. I just think that we'll be better off with like, if it's up to me, either two old dudes at tackle or one old dude at one tackle and Tyler at the other tackle. I would rather, I hate Connor McGovern because he made me sick. I would rather live with the young boy at left tackle and just have an old dude, the better of the two old dudes at right tackle, the worst of the two old dudes at swing tackle, and just live with what we get from Connor McGovern.
I think you're going to get that. Tyler Biadasz is likely, I say likely, hopeful to come back. So if Biadasz comes back, then you're just right back to the lineup you had before he went out, which will probably be Jason Peters at swing. They're not going to bench Tyron, but even if because I had this conversation this morning, I don't think Tyron and Jason, I watched both of them at right tackle. There's nothing there that'd be like, oh, this guy is so much better. You're probably getting about the same player because you're asking a Hall of Fame left tackle to play right tackle in a pinch, and that's just, they're not going to be very good. You hope they're just average to above average for most of the time, right?
But I think Jason Peters probably plays so much more better because he was at left tackle where he's comfortable at. But I don't know, man. It is a big shit sandwich at the end of the day. I wish your cousin was healthy. It is so crazy how healthy, how good, or like just in ranks of who's best or whatever. Like what we used to think about your cousin Terrence Steele, by the way, in case y'all not here for the inside joke, don't miss shows. It's crazy how far we've come with your cousin Will Steele from, whatever. But now, Terrence one of the best offensive line on this goddamn team, and he's hurting us not being here. You know what I mean?
We kept saying it all season. People wanted to ignore that, but Terrence Steele was fighting Zach every week as the best on this team.
100%. Shouts out to my uncle, my real life uncle. Big Seal Tank Dog. He says, putting that right hand in the dirt is 100 times different than putting the left hand in the dirt. 100%, Mr. Wolf. And funny enough, I haven't put my personal experience into this, but I know this because I played center, which is why people pick center to play center. Some people think that centers are just bad guards or bad tackles. People typically play center because they can move in both directions, right? Because sometimes as a center, you'll have to slide left, you'll have to pull left, you'll have to, whatever, or you'll have to do things to the right sometimes, right? So that's how you end up deciding what dude plays center, and centers are typically the smarter dude on the offensive line. But yeah, man, everybody ain't able to do both-sided things. So I just wanted to have that conversation on offensive line there. Now, it is fantastic conversation with you, by the way, Will Steele. Fantastic, sir. It is Tree 56. We got to be gone by 4:15. It's 6 people on the phone. I'm gonna get to all of you. Come on now. You know what I mean? I love y'all to pieces, and I want to get to all. I want to get to all 6 of y'all. All right. It was 9, but 3 of y'all left. The phone locked. I'm not opening back up again. But I would love to get to the 6 of you. So get in, make your point, and get out. Love y'all. And we'll talk a little bit longer tomorrow. How about that? But we can't do a 5 o'clock show yesterday like we did today. No. Can't do it. Let's get 662 White on the phone. See what he's talking about. What up, White?
What's going on, Voch? What's going on, Steele?
Cool player. What you got for the show?
Man, I ain't seen Dak look that bad in a minute, man.
Yeah,
it's like he wasn't even saying feel good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, shit. I just hope, that was just a one-off because he's been looking good since he's been back.
Of course.
Yeah, shit. I just don't know how he turned in all these interceptions, man. I don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, this last thing, it's crazy how the most unappreciated people on the defense, we need them the most, Anthony Brown and Leighton Van Der. We've been ready to throw them off the bridge for so long, but we missing them now. I'm happy we getting Van Der back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I want, Voch, man. And keep that intro, man. I like that Voch, man. Keep that.
I will not. I will not. Appreciate your White salute, man. Good call. All right. Trey Fargo says Dak top 5, though he is. But yeah, that ain't Dak all the time though, which is why I can come in and say things like that. Just like I opened up the live yesterday. I said Dak turns the ball over. Dak is a top 5 quarterback. Dak played terribly Sunday. All three of those things can be true at the same time. But hey, man, who am I, man? Y'all, I'm just I'm just a truther. I'm just a homer. I'm just a Dak apologist. Ain't nothing.
It was without a doubt his worst game of his career.
Yeah.
Now this could turn into a whole nother conversation. We gotta get through the lines, but my problem is when he's bad, like it's bad. The dip is really, really low, and there's nobody or there's no scheme. There's nothing that really seems to get him out the tank. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the coaching comes in. But when he tanks, it's like he gets stuck in this tank. So the highs are great, the middle is great, but the lows are really bad. So we just got to avoid that low. If you avoid the low, I think you always have a chance with him.
Yeah. Even on like regular bad days with Dak, you end up scoring like 28 points. You know what I mean? So bad days like we had Sunday, those aren't very common. Short Dog in the chat. Short Dog said, what'd he say? He says, what up, Voch? Just got my service right so I can comment. Listen, Short Dog, I need you to change your name from Elias. And I noticed your name, sir, but change your YouTube name to Short Dog with 2 G's, because that's how we know it's you. People in the chat love you, man, and they wish you well, and they hope you stay free and not behind walls or anything like that. So when you in the chat box talking, they don't know you as Elias, they know you as Short Dog. So change your YouTube name or your Google name to Short Dog so we can know who you are. We can show you love properly, whether you're watching me or Will Steele in the morning. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for tuning in. Landlord from Alabama. What's good, sir?
What's happening, man? I know you pressed for time.
Cool.
So this is going to be the quick story you ever heard in your life.
Let's do it.
It was funny you mentioned D'Amico Ryans.
Yes,
unfortunately, I played him. I played against him in high school. He went down the street. They beat the stuffing out of us. They made our quarterback tap out. Damn. It was terrifying. It was horrifying. Damn. But, we glad to see him doing good things. Hopefully it don't continue if we play him.
Right.
But, man, I'm sick of all of these tapping out fans we got. I just kind of doubt this defeated mindset. They already saying we're one and done. It's a lot of people saying it already. I'm really sick of it. Yeah. But I just ain't built like that, man. I know our team really has a chance. We just as good as them. We really better. But if we come and play our A game, man, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to go to Tampa and beat the living stuffing out of Tom Brady. Sure. I just don't understand why everybody's tapping out already, man.
Well, because they had never run into any kind of adversity in real life, and they would rather put themselves in the locker, as opposed to fighting off the bully. So, that's just the kind of people that you're dealing with,
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. I just don't understand it, man. I guess I just kind of doubt that defeated mindset, man. I guess this might be the Bellman in me. We used to win it. I got a winner's mentality. I just can't give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I done seen a team be terrible for years and then become a dynasty. I done seen it. Yeah. And it's possible. Yeah. So you just can't walk into a fight already handing over your lunch money, man. Right. We Dallas Cowboys for life. We got a chance. We finna go win in Tampa. Let's get it.
Appreciate you, landlord. David in the chat box said, landlord from South Wakanda. Appreciate you, sir. Good call. I be wanting landlord to say big words, kind of like a T.I. do, like with his landlord. Shit, Voch, man, we gonna come in this thing expeditiously, you know what I'm saying, and smoke the shit out Tampa Bay indubitably, and the prophatics of the situation, Voch, you know what I'm saying? It's very silgific, you know what I'm talking about? So shit, we be all right. I'm like, yes, landlord, 100%. It's very silgific, sir. The prophatics are indeed particular, sir. John from Connecticut. What's up, sir?
Voch.
What's good with you, bro? What's good with you, Playboy?
I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. If we don't run that ball, we're gonna have a lot of trouble. Not only do we have to run the ball, we're gonna have to hit Tom Brady. We don't hit Tom Brady, carve us up. We can't give him time.
Turn down your house.
Yep. Titans.
Turn down your house real quick.
Well, man.
Say again. Turn down your TV. We can hear us. We can hear us talking. Turn down your TV.
All right.
I know, Voch. He's going.
Okay, it's now.
I appreciate it. Go ahead. All right, you good. Go ahead. Finish point.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, like, if we play Tom Brady like these Dobbs, we're all set.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I mean, like I was saying like I said last time when I called, and he was playing good. He had a nice little good stretch. I wasn't thinking about that. I wanted to see how he ended the season. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I still got it. I got the confidence for him.
Right.
I hope he can get it done. I'm nervous. I'll tell you that much. You got to run that ball. I'll tell you that.
Don't even worry about it, man.
That's all I gotta say.
Appreciate you, John. Don't even worry about it, man. Kellen Moore hopefully saving all his best plays for the playoffs. Last week, Tony Pollard got 7 carries. I ain't gonna say nothing else. But boy, it's gonna be a stone.
Let me add, run the ball efficiently. I think we need to start making that a thing. We are in 2022 now, y'all. Running just to run is not, that doesn't mean anything, right? We have to run and be efficient with it.
Right. Even if you have to pass to lighten the box so you can run later, you just can't be slamming in the A gap just to be slamming in the A gap and calling it, hey, yo, yeah, we running, we being physical. You got to run when it makes sense.
If you want to add even more context, it's also not run basic. Be a little creative with how you run, because when we're creative, we're better with that. But yeah, if you're going to be 1994 and just line up an I formation and just run, that don't work for the Cowboys.
Trey Fargo says, and I'm not debating Trey no more. He says, Voch, question, do we extend Dak Prescott again? Now, Trey, how about this? I think Dak Prescott's a top 5 quarterback, and you clearly disagree. But I saw your list yesterday, Trey, and you have Dak as at least a top 10 quarterback. So, Trey, in this league where good quarterbacks are scarce, where teams draft quarterbacks high every year and they end up in the elephant graveyard, sir, and you're the Dallas Cowboys, who wins, and you're never really in that position to draft a quarterback high, sir. Or you look at the quarterback free agent market, and you may see a character, Gardner Minshew or something maybe out there, Brian Hoyer maybe. You just don't see franchise quarterbacks just laying around. Why would you not extend Dak Prescott when his contract is up, Trey? You pay Dak Prescott till he's done playing, Trey, or until he starts playing trash.
The only way,
go ahead, sir.
Nah, the only way that you even call that into question is if he goes out there and looks like he did yesterday on Monday. If he looks like that, then you'd be like, wait, because that's 2 games in a row now in the playoffs where it ain't as hot, right?
Yeah. If he does that shit all season, then sure.
Yeah. But I would love to get another offensive voice in here, offensive mind in here with him. He's at that point now where I think he would walk him down, and I think he'd blossom even more. I think we haven't seen the best of Dak. That's crazy. But I think we've seen the best of Dak under Kellen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would extend him. But honestly, if it's going to be with Kellen, this duo, I'm over that. I'm over this duo.
Sure. Kirk was signed in free agency. Washington was wrong. Fuck. What you want me to say? But it's been 7 years of this, Voch. All right, player.
I mean, maybe Peyton didn't win till year what, like 9 or something?
Sure. Maybe we should wait till the very last pick of the draft and go and get a Brock Purdy type Wilson. Maybe we should roll the dice in the bathroom and hope we can get one of them characters, right? Let's just hope we can get one of them.
Yeah, we didn't maximize his when he was on his rookie contract. So I think I don't want to say we're paying for it, but we're now in year 7. And yeah, I get it, y'all. But it doesn't always happen in the Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger way, and Pat Mahomes way. Sometimes you're Peyton Manning. Sometimes you're what's the cat's name in the Saints? Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hope it ain't Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon got to the Super Bowl when he was like 40. But sometimes it take a little bit longer given the organization, and we know this organization does not go into every offseason throwing everything to go all in. It's hard when you're asking your Q to be all in, but the organization is not.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. If you can win playoff games with Jimmy Garoppolo and them, you can find an offense coordinator that can win with Dak Prescott. So that's my thoughts on it.
Stafford's the other one too. Yeah,
Stafford's the other one too. Will Steele, you think we can get Sean McVay to come be a quarterback's coach for us? Let's get Big A. No, we hold on. Yeah, okay, cool. Big A, then Tariq. Then we're gonna run to this 9 platinum card. See what this is. Big A, what's up?
Hey, yo, what's up, man? How you guys doing?
What's good, player? What you got for the show?
Okay, yeah. So I know you pressed the time. I don't want to hold you up so much. I'll try my best to press my point.
Right.
I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go a little game plan personnel wise for the front seven just for this upcoming game.
Mm-hmm.
So because you got Hankins and Van Der Esch back, it's gonna help. I feel like that's gonna open up some stuff. At least I'm hoping. I don't know what Quinn's gonna have in his brain, but if I'm Quinn, that's gonna help me out a lot more. I'm gonna start to tap into what Philly and Cincinnati has done.
Yeah.
Throughout the season. So what they do. So the way their defense. I know their defense on talent level a lot better, but just scheme wise, what I'm gonna do is try to incorporate some more. I'm gonna incorporate some more bear front. So for me personally, I'm gonna inactivate Gallimore. I'm gonna bring Bohanna up. I got my 5 guys up front. And I'm gonna run gap. I'm gonna try to incorporate some more bear front up front because this offensive line likes to run gap. And I know they haven't shown themselves to be a good running team, but they got veteran dudes over there. They got some experience over there. In person, for me, I just feel like that would just be Dallas to get ran over again by Fournette. So I'm gonna try to incorporate some more bear front so I can help limit those pulls on the outside. And if anything, it helps out with Micah Parsons because Parsons ain't got to play the edge the whole time. You can now put your best linebacker back it off ball. Make it where Van Der Esch, making a more even rotation with Van Der Esch, Barr, Clark, and Parsons on that back end. And now you can get really creative. You can start throwing some slants, throw some stunts up there. It makes it to where now, okay, where you can now press that pocket. You can now press that pocket because there's more single blocks. There's more single blocks. It now makes it to where there's less routes out because if Parsons blitzes, they got to go into a more 6-7 man protection scheme, and now that makes it 3 in a route, so it makes it a little bit better for you to cover.
Right, whatever.
But yeah,
right.
I'm basically putting this game in your linebackers to get it done.
My only problem with a running bear fronts or these heavy fronts is that my cornerback too is trash. But Big A, fantastic thought though. But
Big A, are you a coach? Before you go?
Yeah, I'm coach. I'm definitely I'm an aspiring coach. I've been coaching for a minute. I'm currently not coaching that anymore, but I'm trying to get a job again. But I coach. Like I said, for that point at cornerback 2, okay, how do you fix it? 2 deep safety. You go 2 deep safety. If Tom Brady beats me across the middle, all right, so be it. He beats me across the middle. But the last thing I'm gonna do is have him do what he's done to Carolina, what he did to Arizona, what he did to even New Orleans a little bit, which is I'm going to go single high safety and just let whoever the hell the wide receiver is on number 2 just go deep and beat me on the go route. That's kind of what their offense. I feel like that's kind of what their passing game has been recently. It's been a lot of just all right, screw it, throw it on the go route.
Appreciate you, Big A. Good call, man. Yeah, man. Look, if they see us put 8 dudes in the box, they definitely throwing that bitch right at whoever cornerback to. So to run a bear, then run cover 2 off bear, the whole deep middle of your field will be wide open. So that'll just be another place where they could just kick our asses. They'll probably run. Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, Tom Brady would love to just dink and dunk his way down the field.
Of course.
The big plays come off of you adjusting to him. Okay, they're going to attack the middle or these flats. Let me come up and then boom, caught him in one-on-ones. You just got to mix it up with Tom post snap and hope he doesn't catch you. But to talk about his run defense, I just want them to do whatever they've been doing. Sure. Like we have to acknowledge that they have gotten better against the run and they gotten better with Hankins. So I don't think I need to see them do anything too funky, right? Once you get Hankins back in here, just continue to do what you've been doing up front, and I think you'll be fine because this team isn't good running now. They ran on you week 1, but I got to go back and watch them over these last couple games to get an idea on if it's the offensive line or what, because they haven't been good. They've run for 100 yards once in the last 7 weeks. So,
Reek, we running real close on time, so we need you in here expeditiously. What you got quickly, sir?
Yeah, what's going on, Roger? What's going on, Scott? My thing is, I know you was talking to me when you was talking about Jason Peters on that front line.
I was not.
My thing is like this.
I was not. I had no clue. I had no clue.
Like you was,
I had no clue that you had an opinion on Jason Peters. We just be up here talking now, but please go ahead.
All right, but my thing about that situation is, okay, they was pass protecting pretty good for Dak Prescott, but when they started to try to run, it was no push. They was not. man, when I see my running back legs in the air swinging and they holding him like a little baby, we got a problem. And my thing is put Tyron back in his position. I understand that Zach Martin does not want to play right tackle, because if that's the end game, man, if this dude don't want to, I understand he don't like playing right tackle because he's a right guard, but this the playoffs, man. Whatever we got to do to win, that's where I'm at with it. If we got to put that dude out there, he got to go out there. You know what I'm saying? If they're not going to do anything else, because I really believe like Jason Peters needs to be a swing tackle. He does not need to be a starter. You know what I mean? Especially against these Bucks, because they're going to come. And we need push. We got to get some type of running game going. You know what I mean? Some kind of running game, some type of play action game going for us to be effective and score points. That's the way I'm looking at it, man. But if you see something different, please let me know. But that's just how I'm looking at it. I just don't like the fact that we're not getting a good push as far as opening up lanes for Zeke and Pollard.
Yes, sir.
I think that will be a problem.
Yes, sir.
But that's all I got to say.
Appreciate you,
All
Reed.
right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you,
All right.
Reed. Good call. Good call. Hey, Wilson, that's always funny, man. They were like, yo, Voch, remember that time I called you and I said, nope. I don't remember that. Nope, I do not. Yo, Voch, I feel like you was talking directly at me that one time I was in the chat box and I said, I forgot, player. We do a lot of these shows, man. My bad. But I do appreciate y'all for tuning in, though. Let's quickly get to some supers so we can clock out, so we can go be a family. Boom. Go do that side right there. Gotta hit this button right here. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We love y'all to pieces, bro. We love y'all to pieces, man. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Today's the 10th. That's them people. We don't read them people supers. And that's them people too. We don't read them people too. We don't wipe these 304s. Appreciate you, Chris. He dropped 5 and says Dak has as many wins as Brady does and played 5 games. Played 5 less games. More call. Dak has as many wins as Brady does.
Yeah, Brady got it's 8 wins. Dak has 8 wins, and he's saying he has as many wins with less 5 games.
War call. Get that shit up.
It's hard for me to be like, yeah, Dak, Brady. I mean, Brady got 7 rings. Right? That ain't the conversation we want.
It don't matter now.
It don't hit as hard.
Appreciate you though, Chris. That's almost bad. that you got the same amount of wins Brady got this year. That's terrible. Cool Hand Lou drop 5 and says DB2 press and force to boundary with safety help. Safety has to do better. Obviously can't do this 100% of the time against Brady. Rhodes is the bigger press corner. Well, we have seen the outside corner opposite of Diggs try to jam at the line of scrimmage. So I guess in our mind, if they're gonna just get a bigger dude, because Trayvon Mullen is technically a bigger guy and he'll jam, and he's not speed.
He ran 4, I think, but
yeah, but I wouldn't consider him blazing guy.
Speed don't matter. It's awareness.
Positioning, awareness, finding the football.
He was around the ball on those deep balls. He just didn't get his head around.
Yeah, y'all got to find the football, goddamn. That's all that is. But appreciate you, Cool Hand Lou. Yeah, man, I think Brady will eventually figure it out. But I just think this come down to Dak and the offense, man. Like, defense, whatever defense does, man, I wish the best for him, bro. But if Dak and them go out and score,
I agree. I agree, bro.
It's on Dak, man. 35 to 42 points. We ain't got shit to worry about. It's unfair.
Shit, they do that now. Now we talking all this mess on their offense has been discombobulated, but their defense still got some boys over there, man.
If Dak Prescott and them drop 35 to 42 points the whole playoffs, and they I ain't gonna say nothing else, but if they do what we want them to do by averaging 35 to 42 points, I'm gonna be a terrorist.
Man, is wild. 35, 42 points. We're winning the Super Bowl.
I'm going to jail. I ain't gonna say it. I don't want to say it because you're gonna get mad at me because you're like the SB word.
How? Something so unrealistic as that? If we score 42 points per game, the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. I don't see how that's something crazy to say.
Nick Foles dropped 35 to 42 points.
And what happened? What happened?
They won
the Super Bowl. So
they won that when Nick Foles. No, Eagles fans bother me. So look, I really don't have a problem with Eagles fans in general. Like they're annoying, sure. But the one thing that bothers me the most about them is that they shit on Doug Peterson after he won a Super Bowl with goddamn Nick Foles. Boy, that kills me.
Yeah.
God damn, Carl Lou. I'm moving on. Super chats from the Voch side. What's up, y'all? Today's the 10th. Appreciate y'all for being here. Let's see. Miss Scouting Pro, we read hers. Thank you so much for dropping that 5th in the super chat. We love you to pieces. Daniel Griffith dropped the deuce in super chat, says moving Micah to defensive end limits his impact. Thoughts? We touched on that a little bit yesterday. Don't miss shows, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in the offseason. That's definitely an offseason topic. But appreciate you though, Daniel. All is well. Drop 5 in the super chat, says Mike training Dak for big plays to win the Super Bowl is what I see this year. Mike McCarthy, I guess. Just like Rodgers and Brett Favre, that's why he said he wants to let it rip. Well, Mike McCarthy has won Super Bowl with 2 let it rip quarterbacks, so maybe he's willing to live with the turnovers if we're getting output on offense. So I guess that's his strategy. So
you live with some of those ones that happened earlier in the season, right? The miscommunications. I can't live with the dumb ones like the one he had against Washington.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We
can't do that a bunch.
The Eagle one, right? Can't live with those.
Yeah, that shit. Like if we cut down on them, and if the receivers cut down on the bounced off my face picks, I take the aggression.
Yeah, those ones I don't care about because you can't do nothing about. You drop the ball into the air, intercept. But if there's one to live with, hey man, I'm reading you crossing the safety and you want behind it. That's different than, hey man, I'm gonna just throw it to you as a pick 6.
Right to you. After just trying you again.
Here, go ahead and get touchdown.
Here we go. Josh Sweat, here you go, buddy. And DJ dropped a 50 in the super chat. He said, I believe there's a blueprint to Dan Quinn's offense. Run the football on the cornerback too. I'm so tired of seeing the quick outs, slants, quick check downs against his defense. You will have an occasional deep ball on cornerback too, or a crosser here and there, clearly effective. I don't care about the short passes. It's chunk play versus cornerback too that gets me every single time. Chat, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. I'm about to go get into some family business. I appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be here right back again next time on what is that? Eagles always on your mind. We just cheer for Doug Peterson, and we love the fact that helped us by beating y'all. The organization goes Doug, not the fan. Nah, y'all was not fucking with Doug Peterson for. I ain't got time. Listen, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be right back here on the volume tomorrow and Thursday to break down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, 3 p.m. ish, 06:15 ish Central. Once again, we appreciate y'all. Love you. Follow me on all my social media platforms, VOCHLOMBARDI, my Twitch. We've been getting a little active with that. We broke down how trash Lion King is compared to how real lions fuck hyenas up. Please twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. And we'll be watching film on my Patreon, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi, all 22. We're also getting ready for draft season. Not today, but we will at some point. And follow Skywalker Steele on all of his platforms at Skywalker Steele, Skywalker, STEELE, and A to Z Dallas on YouTube in the morning, 8:30 to 10 p.m. Central. Love y'all to pieces, man. And until next time, Marcus Hardison says, the cousin of nihilism. Shit, what? The cousin to nihilism, I know him. The cousin to nihilism and negativity is a scarcity mindset. Life is about balance. There will be times you must straddle the fence for your sanity's sake. Salute to everyone. Thank you, Marcus Hardison. Hit the button, Will Steele. Volume. Till tomorrow.
Beats Planet.
Teach a man how to squabble.